New images near the Strait of Hormuz off Iran, where new attacks are now sending oil prices on another wild ride today. This is a Thai flagged ship, one of at least 3 vessels that have been struck today in that critical waterway. Thailand's Ministry of Transport says 20 crew members have been rescued. 3, though, remain unaccounted for. We're going to show you a map of the approximate locations of these attacks on ships today in the Strait. A reminder, some 20 million barrels of fuel a day move through this critical shipping route, and it is clearly effectively remains shut down because of this very real threat. Let's get right to Paula Hancock's live in Abu Dhabi for the latest on this. What are you hearing here?
Well, Kate, we just heard from the UK Maritime Agency, and they say that as of now, they believe that about 13 vessels have been impacted since this war started. Now, you mentioned that Thai-flagged ship. We have some more information on that as well from authorities. They said that there was an explosion at the stern and then a fire broke out in the engine room. Now, this is believed to be where those 3 missing sailors were on duty at the time. So 20 rescued by the Omani Navy. We know that the captain told the crew to evacuate. They got in lifeboats and were then saved, but 3 still missing at this point. So
hello, countries around the Gulf are reporting a new round of Iranian missile and drone attacks. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain said they were responding to incoming fire and warned residents to seek shelter. Drones have reportedly fallen near Dubai airport, injuring 4 people. A UK maritime monitor said a cargo ship was struck in the Strait of Hormuz, starting a fire and forcing the crew to evacuate. It comes after President Trump warned Iran over mining the strait. The US military says it's destroyed 16 Iranian mine-laying vessels near the Strait of Hormuz. The narrow waterway is the world's busiest shipping lane for the transportation of oil. Maritime movements here is effectively at a standstill, and the impact's being felt right across the globe. In Lebanon, state media says Israel has hit an apartment block in central Beirut the second time. The centre of the capital's been hit since the start of the war, and there were heavy strikes across the country overnight.
Strategic analysts note that while Iran's tactics are evolving, there are signs that their military capabilities, such as ballistic missiles and drones, are becoming less sophisticated or are being depleted. This could suggest that Iran's toolkit for asymmetric warfare is diminishing, yet the threat remains significant due to their persistent tactics and regional proxies. The geopolitical landscape remains volatile, with discussions ongoing about potential U.S. military options, including intensified naval patrols and possible ground operations. The presence of strategic locations, such as offshore islands and export facilities, poses additional risks for regional security. Meanwhile, concerns about Iran's nuclear program persist. Reports indicate Iran possesses substantial quantities of enriched uranium, bringing the country closer to nuclear breakout capability. Experts stress the importance of securing Iran's nuclear materials and preventing further developments that could destabilize the region. The international community continues to monitor the situation closely, emphasizing the need for diplomatic solutions while preparing for possible escalation. The evolving conflict underscores the critical importance of maritime security, regional stability, and the global economy's dependence on secure energy routes. Recent developments in the Strait of Hormuz signal a significant escalation in Iran's maritime tactics amid mounting regional and international tensions. Reports confirm that Iran's regime has intensified its efforts to disrupt vital oil shipping lanes by targeting commercial vessels and deploying mines in strategic waterways. U.S. military sources indicate that Iran's forces have launched attacks on ships passing through the strait, including strikes on cargo vessels that resulted in damage and casualties. In response, U.S. forces have engaged Iranian naval assets, reportedly sinking several vessels believed to be involved in mine-laying activities. These operations are part of Iran's broader strategy to threaten international maritime traffic and exert pressure on global energy supplies. The U.S. administration has issued stern warnings, emphasizing that if Iran does not cease its disruptive actions and remove mines from the waterway immediately, the military response will escalate to levels unprecedented in recent history. Military officials point out that demoning the strait is complex and slow, complicated further by Iran's deployment of drones, underwater mines, and other asymmetric threats designed to impede naval operations. Iran continues to assert responsibility for firing projectiles at commercial ships and claims responsibility for recent mine placements and drone attacks. Despite these aggressive actions, some Iranian oil tankers have managed to pass through the strait, predominantly heading toward China, highlighting Iran's persistent efforts to sustain its oil exports amid sanctions and international pressure.